Hi, beautiful. Welcome or welcome back. This is going to be a part 2 to how I am still manifesting my dreams, healing, discovering my magic, how I am changing my reality, still doing subconscious reprogramming, all of that in the midst of grief. So today has been a better day for sure, in terms of grief, but we all know that it comes in waves. And so this was definitely a better day to film, just so I could get through it without crying. But that kind of brings me to my next topic that I want to talk about in terms of this video. If you haven't seen part 1, please go watch that. It talks about the acronym MOVE. It's an amazing tool, but it was just a part 1, and I want to get into some of the other tools that I use and am particularly leaning on during this time. One of which is water. So we know that we are like 60% water, right? So drinking a lot of water might sound simple, or working with water might sound simple, but if you think about the impact for us as humans being more than half water, it might be pretty significant in terms of reflecting a tool that we also can get a lot of use out of in this earthly realm. So let's go ahead and get into it. So water can transform. It can be steam or ice. It transforms just like we do. And I find it interesting because in the spiritual community, we look at water as emotional, as psychic, as transformative, as something that you can transcend out of. It also represents our intuition. And so it makes sense that we would have this deep connection to water. We all know how the moon affects the ocean, and there's just no denying the power of water at this point. And even scientifically, and there is nothing more I love than when science and spirituality get together and make friends. I just love that. And so I'll start by just talking about how water can hold our intentions. It can heal us. It is purifying, detoxifying. Again, like we were more than half water, right? So there's 2 documentaries if you're interested in more of the scientific portion. Actually, I think there's several documentaries at this point, but 2 that I would really recommend are Superhuman and Secret of Water. If you've ever heard of them, I would go watch them. They show some of these studies on water that I really like to talk about. And so one, for instance, is a scientist that was able to show how water, it changes based on our intentions with it. And so say if you were like speaking love into water, if you were speaking gratitude into water, then it would morph into this gorgeous snowflake. Whereas if you started saying like ugly things or having negative thoughts or anything like that, then it would become this distorted image. So water absolutely carries our intentions. It carries information as well. So that's actually a really good thing to go ahead and get into now. So not only can water be influenced by our thoughts and intentions and emotions, but it is also a divine transmitter. When used intentionally, water carries divine information and codes, and it is available to you to program in that way, whether you drink it or want to use it when you take showers. I do it all the way around. Showers is a big one for me, same with baths, particularly salt baths. Salt is extremely protective, enhancing of your spiritual gifts. It's purifying. I think it really helps with the grief process. I mean, salt and water and together are used, all over the place, like throughout religion and spiritual practices. You just see it everywhere. Pure salt and water has incredible power. So I just think it's incredible because you can use water to help you heal and also manifest, and you can talk to it and program it, and you can use it with intention. And showers and baths is one way that I do this. I always pray over them. Even out loud, I will say, thank you, water. I love you, water. Thank you for healing me. Thank you for taking away this depression. I actually will visualize white light coming from the water and just rippling throughout my whole body, and then seeing all of the depression and everything just wash away and go down the drain. So visualization is incredible when it comes to water, as well as speaking to it. I always program my water by speaking to it. I always bless it. I always say thank you for this water. I always say may it fill my body and my energy with abundance and unconditional love, my own power and authenticity. Now, every time that I drink water, I bless it. I give gratitude. I visualize and I speak to it, whether that be in my mind or out loud, actually, because I do that a lot as well. And the reason I do this is because of the way that our thoughts and our intentions can influence water, and the way that it is such a reflection of who we are and a tool that we can use. I think about everything that pulls in the spirit of gratitude. And think about how powerful that is, right? For subconscious reprogramming, for your mindset, especially when you drink water in the morning, and how that primes your mind and your spirit for the whole day. I think about the power that has when it comes to our spiritual wealth and manifestation, and just the power of belief. So if you're someone, for instance, who, hasn't quite opened up to all of this, I would almost suggest thinking about like the placebo effect, right? Like it almost doesn't matter. The point is the power of belief and how that becomes the law of attraction, right? Like for better or for worse. So if you are doing this every single time you work with water, whether that be drinking it or taking a bath or a shower, think about the waves that is making in the quantum. Whether you are grieving or celebrating, think about the power that would have, just treating your water like that, something that you work with and can leverage every single day. We are surrounded by this magic and these tools that we are supposed to be using, that were left here for us as spiritual inheritance. So water is a great place to start. It's something that you're already working with every day, or maybe should more, or can definitely use during a hard time, because spiritual discipline and even using something simple like water can make huge waves for you in the quantum that will ultimately change your life, because these emotions are powerful, and we really can still use something as difficult as grief to level us up. So change your focus, change your thoughts, use what's around you that you've already been blessed with, and you can change everything. Reality is yours. And lastly, y'all, when it comes to water, I want to talk about crying. Obviously, I've been doing a lot of it, more than I have in a really long time. But I want to share with y'all how grateful I am for the tears. And I want to tell y'all why. And a lot of that has to do, for me, with having gone through more than one spiritual awakening, several at this point, and that I wasn't always able to cry. In fact, there were plenty of times where I really struggled to, and I had this awareness that it was unhealthy, but it was almost like I saw it as a luxury that I didn't really have growing up. And now it just comes after, being at this point in my spiritual journey. And I have to tell y'all that I am so grateful every time I cry, that I give gratitude every single time I cry. I let my tears fall. Tears are so magical and alchemical, y'all. It's not even funny. I mean, most of the time, that's all you need to do. Like, it's such a gift and it's such a release. Like, please cry. You are meant to cry. It's an emotion that is meant to be expressed physically, part of being here in this earthly realm, and what we signed up for is a very emotional experience. Okay, so cry. And the last thing I want to talk about is affirmations. This is something I do in the shower as well. So even if, and it also goes back to spiritual discipline. And so really, y'all, even on my hardest days right now, like, if you just take 30 seconds to say, I'm safe, I'm powerful, hold yourself, get to know your creator, make sure you are saying, please hold my hand throughout all of this, say your affirmations out loud. That is extremely powerful and creates ripples. And there's really powerful emotion behind it too. So I am making sure that I journal every day, specifically what I am grateful for and my affirmations. And I also am good about speaking them out loud. Like I said, even if I know that sometimes when we're grieving, you just don't even really have more than like 30 seconds when you're making your coffee, or maybe if you're not grieving and you are just going through a lot, and either way, that 30 seconds when you're making your coffee is all that you've got. So take a minute and quiet your mind and say, I am safe, I am abundant, I am confident in my ability to love others and spread love and be the light and hold the light while still holding boundaries and being in alignment for myself. Whatever you want to do. Like, if you are into tarot, you can say, like, I am the Empress, you know, like you can really like even you can get into anything, you know, like for me, like I love the journey of tarot. That's something that I study. I'm just really into, and same with astrology. But I'll tell you what, like millionaires don't hire, astrologers do, billionaires do. And if you remember what person said that quote, because it was obviously a billionaire, and I am completely blanking. But if you know who that is, please drop it in the comments because I'm blanking right now. But besides journaling, also, like, I also speak my affirmations, like, into the shower as well. And don't just stop with I am, you know, like, do, like, I know, I see, I speak, I love, I do, I feel, I am, right? Because affirmations don't just stop with I am. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you are going through grief, I send you so much love and light. It is not even funny. If you need anything from me, it's all going to be in my about section. I have some incredible resources there, everything from passive income if you want to get started there as a complete beginner like I did, or if you want light codes, there's an incredible book there. Make sure you read it more than once, and I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video.